Just for the people that don't know, I do live stream 4 times a week over on Twitch, so come and hang out, come and be a part of one of the best communities there is. Just click the link in the description, hit the follow button and turn on notifications so that you're notified as soon as I next go live, and I hope to see you in one of the streams. But for now, enjoy the video.
Disaster? Sounds like an Ace Trainer Liam video. There, I beat you to it. And I know what you're thinking. Liam, why is Absol in the thumbnail for this video? Absol doesn't cause disasters. According to the Pokédex, people thought it did, but actually it turns up to warn people about incoming disasters. Exactly. Absol's in the thumbnail to warn you about the 5 disasters coming in this video. Oi oi girls and boys and everything in between, it's Ace Trainer Liam back with a happy video about disaster. Natural disasters aren't uncommon these days, with Mother Nature constantly reminding us just who's in charge. It can be incredibly difficult to detect when a natural disaster is going to happen, and also it's difficult to predict just how big of an impact a natural disaster is going to have on the world and humankind. That being said, in the world of Pokemon, there are plenty of our pocket monster friends who could, in the right situation, cause an absolute disaster all by themselves. It still shocks me that in this universe, children as young as 10 years old can have the responsibility of owning a monster that has fire breath that can melt almost anything, that has an internal body temperature that is as hot as the sun, or even the entities that control space and time. Today I'm going to be looking at 5 Pokemon who have the potential to cause a catastrophic disaster, but I'm also thinking outside the box. I'm not going to be looking at the really obvious, lame, legendary Pokemon like, oh, Kyogre can cause mass flooding, Groudon can cause mass drought. That's boring. I want to look at Pokemon who you wouldn't initially expect to be the bringers of impending doom. And what's more, I'm looking for Pokemon whose Pokédex entries state that they either have before or they could potentially cause this specific disaster. Let's go. Wildfires are intense walls of flame which can spread rapidly and can stretch for miles, causing endless destruction in their wake. You might think any old fire-type Pokemon could be the cause of the ignition of one of these fires, but in this case there's a very specific Pokemon that's the culprit. In fact, the Pokemon we're looking at here is an iconic Pokemon. It's a Pokemon that's been entrusted to 10-year-olds around the world since 1996, and has been one of the most popular Pokemon there is for about 2 decades. That's right, we're talking about Charizard. Now, as if the constant statements lining the Pokédex that Charizard's fiery breath can melt almost anything wasn't enough, which, by the way, if you're a parent, you should be pretty concerned that almost anything includes the trainer of the Pokemon, aka your child that just picked Charmander as his starter. I'm just saying. But on top of that, you have this little gem of a statement from Charizard's Pokédex entry in Pokemon Red, known to cause forest fires unintentionally. Wait, hang on. Let's just rewind for a moment. Charizard is known to cause forest fires. This isn't just one Charizard absent-mindedly causing a forest fire. This is Charizard, the species, is known for causing forest fires unintentionally. If they're known for causing that, why are we breeding them and giving them out to children? And as if that's not bad enough, these aren't poorly trained Charizards disobeying their masters and burning down the forest. The Pokédex says it. They're doing it unintentionally. So really, it's big old Charizard sitting having a picnic in the forest, maybe drinks a little bit too much bubbly lemonade, and then suddenly... Oh no, did I set the forest on fire again? These things need to be locked up. Whirlpools are probably the least terrifying entry on this list, since historically, at least in our world, whirlpools or maelstroms don't tend to occur close enough to inhabited areas and seldom have a lot of power, certainly not enough power to cause any significant destruction for humans. But what if there was a Pokemon who could effortlessly create huge underwater tornadoes in any body of water? Yeah, we should probably be worried. It's noted in several Pokédex entries for Kingdra that this dragon Pokemon is synonymous with underwater terror. It's said to cause tornadoes as it wakes. It creates huge whirlpools that could swallow ships. I mean, yeah, it would suck if you were on that ship, but surely Kingdra has control of its ability to create whirlpools, right? Don't be so sure. It can create whirlpools by yawning. What I'm hearing here is, if I haven't quite rested my Kingdra enough, and I let it into the ocean while I'm on a ship so it can go play with other water Pokemon, and it's feeling a little bit tired still, it gives off a yawn, and it sinks the ship and drowns everybody. Remind me, if I ever raise a Kingdra, I should stock up on Red Bull. Earthquakes don't really need much explanation. The ground trembles and it leaves destruction and chaos for miles around. Lives are ruined and cities are decimated in a matter of hours. This kind of destructive power shouldn't even be possible by nature, and it's certainly not power that should be in the hands of man. So why, oh why, are children able to raise Whiscash? Yeah, you heard me. Whiscash. You'd have thought something like Dugtrio or Excadrill would be the perpetrator here, but oh no, it's the happiest catfish in the world that's the one levelling skylines. Whiscash looks like the kind of Pokemon that nobody could anger. You look at that face and you think, oh wow, this guy looks so full of fun. He must love everything and everyone. We all know by now, that's not where this is going. Whiscash is extremely territorial. Just one of these Pokemon will claim a large pond as its exclusive territory. If a foe approaches it, it thrashes about and triggers a massive earthquake. A massive earthquake, which according to the Pokédex can spread as far as 3 miles around. So basically, if you get on the wrong side of Whiscash, you can say goodbye to your hometown. I think the sickest part of this is, while he's destroying the city, I bet he still has that same insane smile on his face. I don't really have to tell you how terrifying volcanoes are, do I? Tons and tons of molten lava and ash and dust spewing into the sky for miles around. Pretty standard disaster stuff here, right? So then why would you travel with one? Seriously, who willingly travels with a Camerupt? It doesn't just have a volcano on its back, it has 2! Did you think they were just for show? Did you think they were something just to cook your food over? Wait, did you think that's where it poos from? Of course not! Read the Pokédex! The volcanoes on its back have a major eruption every 10 years. Or whenever it becomes really angry. First off, do you really expect this thing to know how old it is? Do you think a Camerupt has a concept of time? When you catch a Numel or a Camerupt, you don't know its age. You haven't caught a Pokemon, you've caught a time bomb. But who knows, maybe the theory's true that when a Pokemon goes in a Pokeball, it gets deconstructed into life energy and then rebuilt when you send it out the Pokeball. So maybe that resets the 10-year clock. Do you really want to take that risk? And hey, forget about the 10-year time limit, it can erupt just when it's really angry. Do you ever argue with your friends? Do you ever argue with your friends about something so trivial that you laugh about it later on because it was such a dumb thing to get angry about in the first place? Can't do that with Camerupt. You'll be dead. And everybody else within a few miles. Good luck. Now granted, this one is purely theoretical in our world, but in the Pokemon universe, apparently this is something the Pokédex confirms can happen. In a really brief nutshell explanation, a black hole is an area of gravitational pull that is so strong that even light can't escape it. It pulls everything in. Again, this kind of power doesn't belong in the hands of a child, but lo and behold, anyone can raise a Gardevoir. The Pokédex tells us that Gardevoir will create small black holes to protect its trainer. Let me tell you something, Gardy, bad idea. Imagine, you get confronted by a group of thugs and you're begging for your life. Gardevoir jumps in to protect you by creating a black hole, and suddenly the thugs are sucked into the black hole and mercilessly reduced to nothingness forevermore. And you know what else is going to get sucked in there? Probably you, Gardevoir, and the entire planet. All for the sake of protecting you, Gardevoir will kill you, the entire world, and itself. Way to go, Gardevoir. Maybe battling isn't your thing, maybe stick to porn. Now don't forget to leave me a comment letting me know which Pokemon you think could cause a disaster, and you know, try not to just fill it with boring legendaries, because we know they can. Of course, make sure you follow me on Twitter, because if you don't, you're missing out on every little bit of information about the channel. You miss a lot of things if you don't follow me on Twitter. And if you'd like to support the channel, see your name in the credits of these videos, and also see the videos before anyone else, consider joining my Patreon for just $1 a month. Of course, if you're new, make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on so that you never miss a video from me. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.